Well, as the old saying goes, a man's home is his castle. And we're going to get this one ready for a garden party this evening, starting with some safety tips. One of the things that you need to do if you're having a garden party in the evening is make sure all your pathways and stairs are well lit so nobody trips and falls. And in this particular stairway here, there's a couple of mistakes going on. One of them is vines growing out on the stairwell. And these, while they're pretty to look at, they can cause people to fall if they get themselves tangled up in them. Also, there's some weeds growing in the stairs, another tripping issue. So get those out of the way. And by doing that, along with lighting, you'll have a much safer party in the evening. Now, MJ's over here in the flower bed, and I'm going to join her, and we're going to talk about some tips on how to make your plants look their best.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, MJ, what'd you find?
Well, this is one of the many terrace gardens that, as they keep pulling out scrub oak, that they're finding here at the ranch.
Well, I like the way they're planting them into this kind of natural, native-looking wildflower bed.
Well, and even though this bed is a lot larger than the beds people may have at home, the same principles would apply for preparing the beds for the garden party. One
of the first things I like to do is to make sure I go through and take out anything that doesn't look its best or maybe even is dead. And I'm noticing some plants right here, something like this. Just getting this stuff out of the bed makes it look that much better.
Just makes it look clean and finished.
Exactly. All the rest of the stuff that's blooming looks much cleaner and more colorful. The other thing I like to do is to put down a nice fresh bed of mulch, and that really dresses things up beautifully. You taught me that one.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
mulch is a curative for all sorts of evils.
And speaking of evils, there are a few weeds. And weeds, when you're having a garden party, especially if you have some gardeners, friends that are coming to your party and will notice these things.
Like me?
Like you. It's a good idea to get rid of some of these old weeds like this cheatgrass and a few other things in here we can get rid of. Again, just cleans the place up and makes it look much more attractive.
And if you're like me, whenever I hold a garden party, I want to make sure that my beds look spectacular. So it's always great if you find you have some holes in the garden, especially after you finish cleaning it up, going to the local garden center and finding some fresh annuals to add a splash of color, because you never know what's going to be blooming, helps fill in all of the gaps and makes the garden look spectacular.
Having said all of that, I think the only other thing that we really need to do once we get all those little chores done is to make sure the whole bed is well watered, because nice perky plants look healthy. Wilted dry plants, not so much. So get everything well watered before everybody shows up. I also noticed while we're standing here, feeling and hearing the bees and the butterflies around me and the birds in the background, there's a really nice habitat here that's been created just for that purpose. Now, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but in this particular location, it works beautifully. We've got things like larkspur and gaillardia here with the beautiful flowers. I noticed some rudbeckia daisies over there and some California poppies. All of these things attract birds, bees, and butterflies in particular. And that just adds a lot of movement and interest to the garden while they're around.
Well, I absolutely love this garden.